All right, we're live. So let's take a look at this. If I take a look at what I have, today's date 10/14/21. Our objective is to graph lines using, we call it slope, intercept formula. Slope, intercept formula. And that's what this is. My y equals mx plus b is my slope intercept form. The b is the intercept. B is called the y-intercept. But we're going to call it the starting line, okay? We're going to call it the starting line. So whatever number is sitting all by itself, whatever is sitting all by itself is the starting line number, okay? And always on the y, right? Move this up a little bit. And then the slope is like the path, okay? So then the slope, and we use the symbol m, is defined as rise over run. But with our cars, we're basically talking about the path, right? Which direction is it going to go? Example 1 says write the equation. Well, if it's going to be the equation, it's got to be using this formula. If we want the equation, it's got to use this one. So we want to write the equation. We're going to use our y equals mx plus b. So we want to get, first of all, we want to find the slope and the y-intercept. Well, I know the b is right there. There's my starting line on this car. You guys agree with this? So my b is -3. So I'm going to put -3 here. I'll do that in a second. I'll put -3 here in a second. But my slope, it looks like I'm going up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. Looks like I'm going up 3 over 2. And it looks like I'm doing another path of up 1, 2, 3 over 2, right? So my slope is 3 over 2. For an equation, I have to have variables. I have to have variables. I've got to have x's and y's because the x's represent all of the x's and the y's represent all of the y's. So there's a lot of us we use a variable. So our answer to this is as easy as this. Our answer is y equals my path, my slope is up 3 over 2, x minus 3. That would be the equation of that line. We start at -3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, I'm sorry, up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. Yes, Grace. Sure. You gotta be careful because the negative here is right my gun. And then the positive 3 is here. You got to be careful with your negatives. However, Grace, you could write it like this. You could write it like this. How's that? Okay. How about number 2? So y equals, what's our starting point? What's our starting, where are we at on our starting line? What's our starting point? So b is 2, right? What's our slope? Let's count it. Down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went down 3 and I went over 4, right? And it's negative because a negative slope is going downhill. So my slope is a -3/4. I need an equation. I need the equation, so I use my y equals mx b. I'll put 2 in for b and negative 3/4 in for m. So my answer is going to be y equals, well, m, the slope is negative 3/4 x, and b, which is my starting line, is at 2. How am I doing? Okay. Now, if we don't have a graph, we can still do this. We can still do this, okay? If we don't have a graph. So I know that it says the slope is 1/2, so I'm going to say m is 1/2. Slope, think m. Slope is m, okay? And it passed through 0, 4, okay? So 0, 4 would be the y-intercept. If I think about where that'd go, right? That'd go right on the y-axis. Guys, can you see that? If I had to graph that point, it'd be right there. 0, 4 is right there, okay? So I know my b is 4. Write the equation. So when you see write the equation, okay, listen, when you see write the equation, write this. Start there. Write the equation. Start with y equals mx b. Just when you see write the equation, write down y equals mx plus b. Well, now we know the m is 1/2 and the b is 4. So my answer would be y equals a 1/2 x plus 4. We didn't graph it. We don't need to graph it, but that is the equation of a line with a slope of 1/2, and it will go through 0, 4, okay? All right, example 3 is going to take a little bit more work. Write the equation. What am I going to write down? Write the equation. What am I going to write down? All right, everybody, let's see it. Y equals mx plus b. Everybody, y equals mx plus b. I'm not going to stop talking until I hear it. Y equals mx plus b. I'm still not hearing it good enough. Ready? Y equals mx plus b. You got it? What's our equation? Y equals mx plus b. I drive my wife crazy sometimes, don't I? So let's write it down. Find the equation. We got it. Now, we don't know the m. Heather, you did a wonderful job yesterday finding the slope. You did. How did you find the slope? Didn't you use this formula? I think Heather yesterday asked a question. She was working on a problem. And Heather, if I remember right, you did that, didn't you? It was pretty cool. So we're going to have to find the slope from the slope formula. Don't let this confuse you. This formula is easy. First point, x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2, okay? First point, xy, x1, y1. Second point, x2, y1. So I'm going to put -1 subtract 5 over 0 minus a -3. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you. So I'm going just this. -1 subtract 5 over 0 subtract 3. One more time. -1 subtract 5 minus divided by 0 minus. Okay, let's start. So I'm going to get slope. Nice job yesterday. So then if I simplify that, I'm going to get a -6 over 3, which is -2. Okay, so I know m is -2. I also know b. If I look at these 2 points, I know the value of b. What's the value of b? It's going to be -1, right? It has to be. It has to be -1. 0, -1. Where would 0, -1 be? Right there, wouldn't it? So, here's my answer. Y equals m. What's our m? What's our slope? -2. And what's our b? Our y-intercept? Awesome. Awesome. Okay, you guys ready to turn the page? All right. Now this confuses kids, but these are just points. These are just points, okay? So you got a point at, if you got an x value of 6, and 34. You get an x value of 0 and 10, okay? All right, I can do this. So, what's our equation? We'll say it again. What do I have to write? Say it louder. What do I got to write? Awesome. I don't know the m, so we'll call it Heather's formula. Heather, let's write your formula down. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Heather, you didn't know they named a formula after you, huh? So, every point has an x and a y. This would be my x1, y1, because it's my first point. x2, y2, because that's my second point. Okay, so let's plug these in. I'm going to put (10 minus 34 over 0 minus 6). Okay, see it? Okay, let's do that. All right, so m is equal to 10 minus 34 over 0 minus 6, and that would simplify to a negative 24 over negative 6, which is 4. Now, I know the y-intercept. I really do. I know what the b is. Can you tell me what the b is? It is 10. 0, 10. If I were to graph that, point 0, 10, it'd be up there, right, on the y-axis, right? So here's my answer. Y equals my 4, because m is 4, 4x plus 10. But I'm going to add one little thing to this just for Teva. Since they're using f of 6 and f of 0, I'm going to rewrite as f of x, because it is a function. So instead of writing y, let's write f of x. You okay with that, Teva?
Yep.
Okay, y, f of x, same thing. But since they want to call it a function, let's call it a function, okay? Now, last but not least, okay, hydropower, power plants, renewable energy, gigawatts, hours, okay? 2012, electricity generated 218 million megawatts. Write a linear model that represents. Okay, so what's our start? What's our starting? Our starting is in 2007, right? We had 105 million. We'll just say 105 mil, okay? That's our start. But then in 2012, what was it? We went up to 219, right? So if I need an equation, what formula do I use? Say it. I know our start, right? What's my starting amount? 105 mil, right? It's 105 mil. So y, so my start, my b is 105 million. My slope, though, my m is got to be my increase per year. Okay, my increase over years. All right, well, how much should I go up by? Up, rise. That's up, right? How much did I go up by? That's a rise. Okay, how many mil did I go up by? 6? 100 and whatever? Let's see. What's 219 minus 105? Sounds right. 219 minus 105. Hold on, that's no good. 219 minus 105. Isn't that great? 114. So we increased 114 years. In how many years? In how many years? That's our slope. So, but maybe I can reduce that. Divided by 5, and I get about 22.8. So it means we're going to increase 22.8 million gigabytes per year. So my equation will be y equals 22.8 x plus my 105 and I would know that that's in terms of millions, right? Thumbs up? Okay, so homework. Let me go ahead and pause this.